Hi everyone, welcome back to Living Ethically on a Budget. I'm just going to show you one of my favourite recipes. I don't know if you've heard recently, but they were saying on the news that pizza is meant to be one of the most unhealthy foods for you if you get it takeaway. I still do like it in moderation, so I'm just showing you how I make it more ethically. So in comments I will cut and paste the recipe. So what I do is I make my own dough. So this is way easier than I thought. It's just a basic bread kind of recipe, and you don't actually have to leave it to rise. It does fine like this. It was a bit awkward here because it's not quite filling up this tray. I was kind of struggling because usually I roll out the base on a tray, a serving tray, but I've broken them, so I was trying to do it in that cooking sheet, which is a bit awkward because of the edges. Anyway, so it's nearly big enough. So I've used whole wheat. So by making your own stuff, you're going to moderate how much veg, how much what's in your base. It's not a white base. Okay, so there we go. So then I'm going to use Sumer. I use my electronic scales as well. You can tear it and all that to measure the amounts out. Sumer tomato puree, because although you can get very cheap tomato puree, for me the advantage of not doing that is if you watch on the internet in the Mediterranean, like Italy and Spain and places where the people are fleeing in the boats across the Mediterranean, they're being made to work in like slavery condition on our European tomato farms, in like lean-tos and tarpaulins with camps with no proper toilet, paid rubbish wages, no sick pay, and that's actually happening in Europe. So although it's more expensive, this Sumer, when I bought it from a cooperative, it's about £1.12 or 20, so that does one pizza. I think it's worth this extra spend of money, and it's good quality as well. Let me just see what kind of, so I put this to one side. So that tube does, well, that's not such a bad view, does a full pizza. Some things, sometimes, it's worth spending proper money on things. Other times you can save an awful lot of money, like with the making your own bread rolls instead of buying organic bread, and the laundry tips I showed you in the laundry video saves absolutely sheds those. Other times you need to pay for the ethics and the quality, so it's that balance. So I'm just going to get all this out. Whoop. Still some there in the bottom. The thing I like about the tube, this does take a full tube for a big 4-portion pizza, so that does like 4 good meals, because I put loads of veg on, so it doesn't need an accompaniment. But if you're only going to use half, that saves 3 weeks, whereas there's a jar, you have to use it in 3 days. So I've got the puree ready, so I'm just going to spread it out using a spatula. Just want it nicely spread. So obviously we want a good flavour, and you don't want any big bare bits of bread which are going to taste all bland. Okay, then what I do when I'm cooking and I'm trying to be ethical, I'm terrible, I'm single, so that probably comes into it, is if I buy onions and garlic, it's a pain to chop them up, and I just find they start going off before you got a chance to use them. So I go to a refillable shop, so you can get garlic and onion powder, and it's really nice and strong, and it saves, and it's still organic and ethical, but I'm saving money. So I just put plenty on. So I put at least a teaspoon on this full pizza base. I put at least a teaspoon of the onion, probably more really, so just want to spread it out nice. You can buy frozen onion if you want. I don't, I've just been using the powder, and it'll be good effect. So it's just ways to save money, because otherwise a week's worth of garlic costs like at least £1 really when I'm cooking. Garlic, no, I go a bit overkill on garlic because I love it. So it's really nice and strong, this. So and this, you know, I'm a garlic fanatic. I don't know how keen on garlic you are, but it is good for you. So I tend to put at least a teaspoon on it. It's just got such a good flavour. Plenty of iron in it and vitamins and stuff. There we go. I'm just going to put some mixed herbs, again from a refillable kind of shop. Ethical herbs. Some of these big co-op places, if you've got one, a lot of that depends if you've got one near you. Because otherwise you can pay a really high price if you just put some nice herbs. Then what I'm going to do, what I find is a cheap way to do it, is I'm going to get a big plastic bowl, and I'm a bit of a health freak, I love loads and loads of veg on my pizza, so you don't have to buy expensive. I haven't got a good supply of organic frozen veg yet, so I'm just using run-of-the-mill frozen. So you want it cut up fairly small pieces. If you're using, you know, big chunky veg, then the problem's going to be that that's not going to cook so well. So I've already got my oven on preheat, like about 220. Now the key with this method is actually, because I put loads of frozen veg on, and that needs to go in the microwave, and I actually put it on cook, otherwise it's going to be too frozen. So I put loads on, because you're making a good complete meal here. You want it to be healthy, way healthier than the, you know, takeaway bought pizza, which is all mostly dough and very salty cheese probably. So I'm going to put all that on. Going to put some spinach as well, because I'm a sucker for spinach. Just remember with frozen spinach, it just kind of, you know, you think you're putting a lot in, but once it's defrosted, it disappears. So just adds something really good to it. Got a third of a pack of frozen spinach. See which it is. Yeah, it's about 200 grams of frozen spinach I'm putting on. It's just really just going to add to it. Right, so then I'll put this in the microwave. We're going to put a stretchy lid. So this actually takes longer than you think. So it ends up taking at least 7-8 minutes. It's fine because like the oven's just on preheat as it goes. The dough doesn't really take that long. It's a fairly quick meal to make. It's just that you need a clean worktop. That's why I tend to use a dinner tray. It's been nice and clean to do the dough on. You could just put frozen veg on there. I think you'd run the risk that the base will cook before the frozen veg is done. Okay, so I'll clear up. So I'll be back with you for the second video for putting the veg on and the cheese. So bye for now.